to Bill Kristol and other these, because you're anti-Trump and you're not never Trump. Like, I will never understand how, if you're someone who's pro-life, which you are, how you cannot say, you know what, this guy's awful, he's stupid, whatever, racist, whatever you want to say. He overturned Roe v. Wade. Like, that's the big one. Like this
Yeah.
is the crown jewel for the pro-life movement for a very long time, saving the lives of the unborn. So I don't understand how you can think this guy's the worst person who ever walked the face of the earth, how you can't give this kudos for making that happen. Like, that's clearly what everyone wanted from the pro-life side.
It's my problem. And I just don't understand it from people like Liz Cheney and like Adam Kinzinger, who, by the way, just continues to go after me on social media in a way that seems just like pretty unstable.
Liz Cheney, you understand it. Liz Cheney's a very bad person.
Well, I don't know her, just for whatever. Like, I don't know her at all. And
Mariah Carey, I don't know her.
I don't know. Well, I think people maybe assume like, I don't think I've ever even met her, but like there was a certain point, like early in the beginning, like early when she was first a congressperson, I was like, oh, maybe she can be cool. And then when you make hating Trump your whole identity, and like you said, you can't give him kudos for things like, for me, Roe v. Wade, like him signing this bill to ban trans athletes in women's sports, like an issue that's been extremely important to me. Like I take Trump in a case by case basis, and like him appointing Tulsi to DNI, like I fought really hard for her. I'm so excited, so happy. Like I give him his wins when he has earned them. And I don't understand why people like Bill Kristol and Liz Cheney can't be nuanced enough to do that. And also, like, why are you not reflecting on why the American people love him so much? Why they trusted him? Like, this isn't just about me. And I feel like if I want to be a good commentator and be someone that people still trust and listen to, I have to be intellectually honest. And I don't find any of that stuff intellectually honest. And I don't believe democracy is on the line with him in power. I just don't believe that. Because honestly, fucking democracy was on the line that I had a president with mashed potatoes for a brain, and God knows who was running the country for 6 months. You're laughing, but it's true. Who the fuck was running America when Biden was in office? And it got exposed at a debate. And then what if that debate had never happened? Would you just have a shadow president like Weekend at Bernie's? Like, you're telling me that like Trump is worse than that? Sorry, I don't believe it.
But it was also funny, just to speak to how screwed up not malevolent the corporate press is. Biden stepped down after that debate from the nomination, but there was never any questions about, why is this guy not resigning? Like, if this was a Republican president, literally every day, there'd be, sources say 22nd Amendment, or why is this guy still in the White House? Every little rumor would be top page news, front page news in the New York Times. They never even acknowledged why he stepped down. Like, they never made him say it. He said, okay, I'm stepping down. But there wasn't they didn't ask Karine Jean-Pierre, why is he stepping down? They said, oh, he's not going to do well. Okay, why isn't he doing well? Say it. Like, they
he's non-compos mentis. Like, right. He's really feeble and infirm. And then, I mean, I remember, and I'm sure you had this happen too. Like, I remember hearing crazy rumors about him, like when he was in, because DC is very gossipy, And I remember just hearing crazy shit about Biden and being like, if that's true, we are like,
what are some things you heard?
Just that, like, same thing, like he was falling asleep very early, that he couldn't sit. Like, I had friends of friends, a very dear friend's husband was in a meeting with him and basically came back. I asked her and she was like, he's terrified. Like he was repeating himself a million times. He didn't seem to understand the topics of the meeting, just same things that like came out. But, I always felt like I'm not a journalist here. So like, if I'm hearing it, then some really good reporters are. And there were people like Alex Thompson, who I really respect and appreciate, but I have major questions about why he's writing a book about this with Jake Tapper, who was one of the main people covering up Biden's health conspiracy. And I just feel like I am not going to give a pass to Jake Tapper or anyone else who made me feel like I was the things that people said to me and about me, because like that I have somehow like betrayed my family, like that I'm a disgusting person, all this stuff, because I was like, I see for my eyes and everybody else does. I can see what's going on. I was a caregiver to a parent that had cognitive decline as well. I can see, anyone who can see things. You just can't. I'm sorry. There's certain signs. And to me, he was displaying them. And I'm just not going to buy a book from a CNN reporter that's telling me that he knew all along and decided not to report on it. Like, really?
How senile do you have to be when you fall up the stairs? I mean, that's really senile.
It's really tragic because we will all, God willing, get old. Like, I hope I'm as old as my grandmother was. But I really am like a big proponent, and people always find this ironic because my dad died in office, but like, I actually think age limits are going to be imperative to this country in office in general
Well,
going.
let's talk, but Megan, this is why I think age limits are not as good as they sound, because the replacement for Nancy Pelosi isn't going to be Tulsi Gabbard. It's going to be AOC. So if you get rid of all these old Democrats, it's not you're going to be filling them with people you like better.
That's a valid point. I have no rebuttal to that because I don't want her instead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's talk a bit about going to the Oval Office with Tulsi. Were you
Sure.
nervous about going there? Do you think it was going to be
Very,
awkward? Okay,
very,
let's talk about this.
very, very nervous. Very nervous, Michael. She asked me, like, because you could bring like very close friends to come and watch the swearing in, and I'd gone with her to her hearing and the parties after, and just helped her, like, behind the scenes a little bit, and then just really, I think publicly, I was just trying to show as much support as I could. I wrote an op-ed. I went on Sean Hannity. Like, I was just doing as much as I can because I do think that, like, I am a different kind of person that loves her and supports her. I think most people are like more libertarian, maybe former Democrats, whatever. And I love her and I'm so proud of her. But when she asked me to go, I said, I don't know if this is a great idea because I don't want to be a distraction.
Sure.
And I don't consider myself a dramatic person, but drama really does tend to follow me wherever I go, Michael. Like, I'm like a Real Housewives character. But she was like insistent and defiant that I go with her. And up until like the day before, I was like, I'm not, my feelings aren't going to be hurt. I don't. And she was like, it's really important that you and Ben are there. And I went in, and the Oval Office, I've never been in the Oval Office before because everybody I love loses, or everyone that wins feuds with my family. Like Republicans that win, like Bush and stuff, like hate my family. So I've
Right.
never been to the Oval Office, never been to the White House Christmas party, like nothing like that. I'm always like banished. I know.
Wait, let's pause. Let's pause this, because you are like one of the biggest patriots I know. Your family's been here since Revolutionary War times. Your blood runs red, white, and blue. So, and it would be the same for me. Like, to be in the Oval Office, this is like sacred ground, even though I'm an anarchist, but it's like, this is America, what America should be at its finest, like the idea. So was there that must have been that moment of awe for you?
Well, they take your phone when you go in. Again, I'd never been before. They take your
Right.
phone. You're in like a waiting room. It's like right outside the Oval Office. And I was there with just, some of her other friends and her family. And I was just like, this is wild. Like,
Yeah.
this is like fucking wild. And I was very nervous. And then you go in the Oval Office, and she had, quite a few people with her. And there was a press corps in there as well, so it was like kind of tight. And there was also the fireplace was lit because it was cold that day, but like a lot of people in a room and a fireplace, like it gets warm. And I was like so overcome with like just awe of the experience and being in the Oval Office and watching her get sworn in. I cried the entire time. Like, my mascara was all over my face when I left. Like, I just was really overcome with the moment and seeing her, and like being like 5 feet away from Trump. And we locked eyes quite a few times. And I have to say, he's been like a total gentleman to me before this and after, like through his people, like beyond nice. So I'm hoping this is like a new era with me and Trump and my family and Trump. And he like could not have been nicer and more hospitable. And I found out afterward he had to okay me being there, because the president has to okay every guest. So he could have been like, no, fuck her, but he did not. So it was lovely.
So, okay, wait. Let's break this down a little bit. Like, was that the first time you were in the same room with him?
Yeah. Is that the first? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So what's going through your head when he steps in? You're like, holy shit, it's Donald Trump.
Just that, like, it's like Elvis or something. It's like he's just such a larger than life figure. And he's also just like a tall man. Like, I didn't realize he's like quite as tall as he is. He was making fun of the press. He did a press conference after she was sworn in, and there was a guy asking a question, which is like a really dumb question that even I didn't understand. And he had an accent, and President Trump goes, "Who are you with?" And he goes like, "AFP." And he goes, "What is that?" Because I thought the same thing. Like, what is that? And he goes, "It's something French core." And he goes, "Oh." Like, and I laughed in the back, because I was like, oh my God, he's like joshing this like French reporter. And then somebody else said something, and he was like, this is why people like you aren't good at your job. And I was like, this is the best show I've ever seen. Like, just trash the press in front of me in the Oval Office all day. I will sit for hours watching this. And it was just like crazy, and it made me feel really patriotic. It was very overwhelming. I was exhausted, by the way, at the end of it. Like, I went home and took a nap after, and there was a dinner for her that night. But I was like, oh my God, there's so much energy in the Oval Office and in here. But it was a really amazing experience. And like I said, I'm really very grateful that Trump didn't say. He could have said no. And this is why people say that he's changed since he had his assassination attempt. I think his inclusion of me and Ben is like an example of that.
I made the comment that I think it's like a cartoon that they shot his ear and it flicked the switch and now he became based. And then people like, and like, what happens if you shoot him again? They're like, no, no, it's the reset button. And I also made the comment several times recently that there was the conspiracy theory in 2024 that Biden had been replaced by a double, like me and Rogan talked about it. But that also, I'm like, I think Trump said, what's that?
Is that true?
It's not.
I
It's
didn't know
like
that.
there's like footage where it looked like he was like 6 inches tall, like different sizes. It was the angle, I think. But I think this is a body double because this is not the same person who we all were with president for 4 years. Like the thing, if everyone who's a Trump supporter, if you set them down in like November, they're like, all right, if he does 1, 2, and 3, I'll be happy. Like I've realised my expectations. I know what he's up against. We've been through this before. Look at the alternative. This is just not a hard choice for me. But he got those 3 things done in the first week, and he kept going. And everyone's like, what is going on here? Because we've all been around politics long enough. This is the first president who has over delivered. That's never happened before. They promise everything. They come in. Bill Clinton, day one, I think it was. He's like, "Yeah, I promised I wasn't going to raise taxes, but I have to." Like it was like the first week.
Yeah, read my lips, no new taxes, and then he did. Yeah.
So
I really, I mean, I hope it. I'm sure it's gonna piss some people off. I'm really enjoying this Trump years. I'm really enjoying Trump 2.0 on a lot of different levels. Like I feel like this is like, especially like in my life, because I've just been like shit on for so long for being a Republican. Like seeing that it's like socially, like you're like a kind of a, you're an uptight loser if you're a liberal and you're a Democrat. Like
right.
to see like being in the cool kids, to see like culturally so many people come to the culture issues that I've been on for so long. Like I'm really enjoying the second Trump term. I hope that doesn't sound weird to people. I'm sure to some people it does, but just on a political standpoint and cultural standpoint, like keep doing what he's doing. I'm really enjoying it.